This is the Rebel Scum podcast. Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/RebelScumPodcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You're always scum. Rebel Scum.
Rebel Scum! I'm Brock.
Boom!
This is
James.
And this is the Rebel Scum podcast where we talk about Star Wars and Star Wars things. Welcome to episode 358.
3, 5, 8.
Yeah.
We're just cruising through the 300s. Before you know it, it'll be 359.
Yeah, that's true. Like 7 days from now.
Yeah, we're just rolling through it, doing what we can.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm quadruple layered. I'm freezing in this room, just so you're aware.
Why are you freezing?
I turned the heat up, but I don't know if it's working. It's just freezing.
It is
where
cold.
I am right now. It's very cold outside too. It's like astronomically cold.
Yeah.
And there's 400 feet of snow outside my front door. So it's good times. Good times. We got a packed show.
Pack show. What are we talking
we
about?
got Ron and Vermont Mike. We got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about Rey Skywalker, the motion picture event of the century.
Allegedly.
And a little Mara Jade.
Mara Jade.
Well. Little talk about that redhead as well. Yeah, there's a few things to talk about. Look, the Rey thing, I actually am sick of this non-existent movie. But there is something I want to. There's one thing about it that gives me a little bit of optimism, perhaps I should say. But before we get to any of that, maybe we should start this show off. Just get right into it and do some blind ranking.
Oh,
we should just see.
I like it.
We should just see. Well, hopefully it doesn't like when I put up your blind rankings from last week. Yeah, it still covers it. So that was a work in progress.
Why not just take that down and bring the thing up? Like, leave it here because you only show that at the end. Yeah,
no, I will. It's just StreamYard's not that, it takes a couple extra clicks to do things.
Yeah.
Heidi's here. All right, Ron, the Rey movie is not happening. All right, blind rankings. This week's blind rankings are 5. We're going to give you 5. You don't know what these are. You know what the topic is. I told you the topic this week. It's going to be 5 tragic Star Wars characters. 5 tragic Star Wars characters. Chat, play along. I want to know what your order will be for these tragic characters.
There's Heidi's order right there.
Mike, Ron, Brock, and James.
Now you need 5.
But Andrew's number 1. Andrew, without saying, goes number 1. That's the most tragic of them all. All right, here we go. Tragic characters of Star Wars. We'll start. This is an easy one. I'm going to go with Qui-Gon Jinn as your first choice. Qui-Gon Jinn.
I always see like this game isn't about like what I actually think. Is like how is he going to play the system? Like it's really just a competition of like how do I outthink James? I'm going to gamble and put Qui-Gon at number 4 because I think there are more tragic things. Because it's Star Wars. Yeah. It's Tragedy City.
There's tragedy everywhere. Don't tell people that because they won't believe you. Padme is next. Padme Amidala.
I am going to go number 2 for Padme. Yeah.
Why not? You only have 5.
Yeah.
Next we'll do Darth Maul.
Ooh.
So he's not in the like. If you looked at it like live action, he's not that tragic.
Yeah.
But this is all Star Wars, Brock. It's not just live action.
Yeah, exactly. Number one, Andrew's mom.
I can't see the chat because I've got
it's Heidi.
Because I'm typing here. Because I'm typing.
I am going to gamble again and put what's his name? Darth Maul, number 5.
Wow,
Yeah.
Darth Maul 5. Like, should I put formerly Darth or Darth Maul? He's pretty at the end. He gets pretty tragic. Let's go next. We've got Count Dooku. Count Dooku.
Damn, I gotta put him 3 then.
Count Dooku, and number 1. I don't think anybody. I think it's the one you were waiting for. Watto. I'm joking. It's Anakin. Where's the? Let's get rid of that. Oh no, I got rid of everything. Nope, that's wrong.
Nope. Yep.
I'm still learning it. I'm still learning the ropes.
There you go.
Oh, there's how many messages? We got a lot in the chat. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got Anakin, Padme, Dooku, Qui-Gon, and Maul. Thoughts?
That works for me. I would switch around Dooku, of course, because good choices of tragic. I was like halfway through. I was like, I wonder if he just says like Darth Plagueis. This is like the tragedy of Darth Plagueis.
It was a thought, but I was like, let's do it for real. You think so? I said Watto as a joke, but they have a comic now where they actually show Vader go and kill him or something.
Yeah, right.
And I'm not. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if I'm totally. If I'm like, I don't know if that was needed and necessary, and I don't know if I agree with it. Star Wars. I don't know.
Yeah.
The chat's going. Yeah.
Him going after like Sebulba. That feels like something. Yeah.
The Watto thing just feels like they want to throw Watto in there. Dale's here. Hey,
a good one though.
Vermont Mike, the Gamorrean guard who fell into the Rancor pit.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Ron's Qui-Gon is my favorite. Is one of my favorite characters. There's number 1. Padme number 2. Oops, I don't know. There's Heidi, I guess. Ron has Maul at 5, Padme at 2, Anakin 3, Dooku 4.
Nice.
Quiet Jin. Quiet Jin. And those are our rankings there. Now I have to get rid of your. There's a lot to do on the. I need a producer here. Aaron. Don't touch. Those are good. Yeah, that one. I was like, let's keep these ones real, but you got to save Anakin for last because I was hoping, my computer might crash out on me.
Oh, perfect.
Hold on. I hope it won't. All right, let's go over to Conjure Club.
Conjure Club.
Deal with Conjure Club. Tell that to Conjure Club.
Yes. Perfect. Love it.
Passive Leech.
It's still going. It's still going.
Still
It
going.
just doesn't. It doesn't end. It doesn't. Let's just play the whole movie.
Plays the whole movie.
Turn on to Conjure Club. This is we used to call this topic, and I was like, let's go back to that name. And I knew you wouldn't be disappointed in that clip. Wait, from Mike has Qui-Gon is the most tragic, as had he lived. Maul would have died, Anakin would have turned, and Padme would be alive, and Dooku would have stayed a Jedi. Anakin might still have turned, though. We don't know.
That would be a cool, like, alternate reality of, like, what would have happened with Anakin after that. Because it's like, if Palpatine sees him, Palpatine is aware of him, it's like, regardless if Qui-Gon lives or dies, right? Because like that duel has no effect on Anakin. He's not even really there when they're. So I would be like, that would be a cool like comic to be like, what would have happened if Qui-Gon had lived?
Yeah, because really Qui-Gon would have ended up training Anakin. I like to believe that because the original trilogy came out first, he still has to turn into Vader. But I still like to believe that he would still end up being evil. But something else would have gone down there. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Because I feel like his fate was always to be Vader.
Yeah, I agree. But to what exactly would it be like? It's like the idea of like if instead of turning right you could turn left, what would your life be like? You know what I mean? Like it's just like
Sliding doors.
oh,
Gwyneth
sliding doors,
Paltrow.
sliding doors. And what's that guy's name? Isn't Huey Lewis in that one? Is he in that one?
I've never seen it. I just know that Aqua did the song "Turn Back Time," and then Cher did "Turn Back Time," and it was bigger.
Amazing.
That's all I remember about that is the trailer. That's like such a '90s. Everything about that is so '90s. Like it's just like everything feels like. I'll bet you in the trailer at some point, "Semi Charm Life" played at some point. That's how 90s. All right, let's go to our first topic today. Like 5 days ago, it was after our last podcast because that's how things happen. We should bring back next week maybe. What up, Star Wars?
What up, Star Wars?
Oh, look at this, Ron with a live action What If movie. Liam Neeson, Hayden Christensen, and Ewan McGregor. I'd be down on that. I just want a Star Wars movie at this point. It could be What If, it could be Whatnot. I don't care. So like 6 days ago, Scooper, My Time to Shine, hello on the Twitterverse.
What?
Yeah, it's legit. Well, I don't know how. Like My Time to Shine has a lot of scoops, some fake, some real. So take this all with a grain of salt. I would say, don't even take this with a grain of salt. Take it with like a block of salt straight from like the ocean or something. Saying that Lucasfilm was developing a TV series revolving around Mara Jade. So that's the plan. We have Heidi sent me something else about somebody they might want to play. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But Mara Jade, George Lucas, famously not a fan. There's that skit on the internet about how he tells like the intern or writer, whoever, to shut up and get out when he mentions the character. I posted that in one of our videos in the summer, and people thought that it was a real clip. And I was like, this is the problem with the world we live in, Brock. Is like it's a joke, and it's so yeah. So just take the Scooper's name out of it, like everything about it out of it. The idea that there could possibly be a Mara Jade coming to Star Wars live action.
Do I want it? I don't know. Do I believe it? I don't believe nothing until
you believe everything.
Until there's a trailer. Let's be honest.
Even then, you're on the fence.
Yeah.
You're like,
I saw there was some movie that got completely shelved. It's just like, wow, people are just shelving movies left like it's nobody's business. I mean, if it's terrible, maybe that's for the best, but it's just like it seems odd.
I don't get it because I just canceled Netflix finally, Brock. It's been a long time waiting.
Oh, wow.
I know that finally happened. But here's the thing. I haven't until March. But here's the thing. I've seen the crap they release on Netflix. Every time they're like, this movie's not good enough. I'm like, how has Netflix not bought it? How, like, honestly, there's no way Batgirl is worse than half the crap I've watched on Netflix that are Netflix originals.
Yeah.
There's no way it's worse than those things. Impossible. Coyote versus Acme, Netflix could have bought that.
That's
for $30
it.
million.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. They could have, like, I would watch that on Netflix, and it's probably still better than half the movies I watch that are Netflix originals.
Yeah.
Because Netflix originals are not good movies. There's always one, that's an exception to the rule. But the rule is, if it's made by Netflix, I say, Aaron, we're not watching that. Put on Jaws.
Yeah, what are we even talking about?
Mara Jade.
Mara Jade. Cool. The sounds great. Because Mara Jade comes up in our rundown, I was like kind of just tired with like, oh look, we pulled a character out of the book series only like thousands of people read. I'm just like, great. Like maybe I'm getting older now, James. I'm 40 years old where I'm just like, I don't care. Like, it's just like,
okay, boomer.
Like, if you watch, I'm sure I would love to read the comments on the new Spider-Man show, which just finished today. And it's just like, I'm sure there's people mad about like, oh, they changed how this character works and how that, like, who cares? Like, who cares? It's just like, so I'm like, if you're gonna make it great, like I think I've said this before. It's like, well, it would be great to see stuff with Luke and Han and Leia, but it's just like, just make a new character that is that character. You know what I mean? Like Mark Hamill, I would argue, is a really good actor now. Maybe in the 80s, I don't know, like, or 70s, you know what I mean? I know, come for me in the comments, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, we don't love the specific actor per se. We think we do, because it's just like, that's the face. But it's just like, we like the character. Like, we like the relatable character. We like the funny rogue. We like the princess with an attitude. Like, you can create that. You can easily create that, right? So it's just like, Mara Jade, cool character. I am not gonna like be upset if it never happens, or if it does happen. It's like, I'm just gonna be like, I want new Star Wars, whatever. So it's like, but like the Mara Jade character is cool. I think why I'm getting a little tired of it is like, if you don't do it exactly like they expect, like the internet will freak out.
Yeah, see, I'm like half with you and half on the other. I think if you have the character already existing, then just use that character instead of creating a new one. However, the other side to that is where I agree with you in that if she's not going to be interacting with Luke, like if it has nothing to do with any of that, then just make it. Then you make it a new character.
Yeah,
because I don't understand like why.
It's true.
That's where I flip, because I'm like this. I always go back like the Saw Gerrera thing is genius, because first of all, 14 people knew who he was.
Yeah. Will he come back? Will he come back? Ooh. Oh, it's just me. There he is.
Love that it like kicks me out and like it just keeps. I don't know, my thing just died. I lost all the chat too, by the way. Am I back?
It's okay. Yeah, you're back. They haven't.
Yeah, look. I think the Saw Gerrera thing is what I was saying. Like that is genius, right? But so like if you have the character ready to go, use the character.
Yeah.
But if the character has nothing to do with, and they just make a new one sometimes. Like if it's like Mara Jade, the thing with Mara Jade versus Saw Gerrera you could throw in there.
Yeah.
Because first of all, 14 people knew who Saw Gerrera was. Secondly, it didn't conflict with anything that we knew about Saw Gerrera. Whereas Mara Jade now, and this is why I actually don't really believe the scoop, but it's probably true because I don't believe it. But Filoni said when they were making IG-11 for Mandalorian, which was Mandalorian, IG-11 is Mandalorian.
Yeah, IG-11.
They were doing, IG-11. When they did that, he was like, the problem with IG-88 is IG-88 is in a bunch of books, and fans have that, and they can, even though that's not canon, they consider that canon. And he was like, out of respect for that, we just made IG-11. And I feel like Mara Jade is such a big character that either you have to do her exactly properly, like, or you just IG-11 her and make her Mara Jade or something. Like I don't,
Mara Emerald.
Mara Emerald. That would be awesome. Yeah. But I just that's I guess that's my thing is like on both sides. I'm like I bring the character in, but also if the character doesn't matter, like I don't know, if the character's not going to do what the character did originally, then you're just going to piss people off. And I lived through the 90s and late 80s when movie studios took IPs and just kind of made other movies but used their names. Mario Brothers, Punisher, like Masters of the Universe. Like they were like this, like what are you, like you're not even trying. You're making something completely different. So I think, I don't know. I because of Filoni's comments though with IG-11, I kind of think I'm kind of not worried about her. If they did bring her in, I wouldn't be worried because I feel like they stay true to the character. But I also don't think they will bring her in because of that.
It's weird because it's like if you sometimes I wonder with like these expanded universe characters, like people are more excited about it because like it's like we know something you don't. It's just like, but like let's put that to the side because that's just like we're just gonna start screaming at each other. The Mara Jade character is cool. Why? One, she's like a bounty hunter assassin for Thrawn. It's kind of cool. Like at that point, I don't think we really saw a female character do that in Star Wars. And then she becomes a Jedi or is force sensitive or whatever. I can't remember. That's the one thing that's like, that's really cool. That's a cool character. I would love to see that. Like, she had red hair. Cool. But then the other thing is she's married to Luke. She's linked to Luke. So it's just like, obviously, we really can't do that because Luke's on the thing. So it's like, if you take that part away, the second part, and you're just like, like the character is just known for being a cool, badass woman. It's just like, well, then like that character could be anything. I would argue it's like make it a totally different character in a sense of like that's not what she looks like or do whatever. I know it's kind of weird to say it that way, but it's like maybe still make her like a badass in some way. Maybe she's just a pilot. I don't know. And then call her Mara Jade. Like, do you think people would freak out? Maybe. I don't know. About what?
Well, yeah, they would because people look for an excuse to freak out over everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, give them a reason. Even if you don't, they find one. So
yeah,
I think Ron's right though. Ron says I don't think anything's ever going to happen with Mara Jade.
Yeah, I agree.
I also agree, and I'm actually way okay with that. Yeah, you can just create a new character.
Always when he's talking. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes.
Did I freeze?
Yeah.
Oh.
You don't think it's going to happen?
No, I don't think it's going to happen. Like, George Lucas hated that character. And even if he didn't hate the character as much as everybody believes he hated the character,
yep.
The word on the street is that he hated the character. And if you bring that in, you're just going to, like, put that wedge deeper and deeper in with the fan base right now. And right now, Star Wars is in, like, a state of cleansing. And I think Skeleton Crew was a perfect step for that. And so I don't know why, like if she's not going to be, the point of her was with Luke. So if you're not going to play that angle, you're just doing it for the name now, for name recognition, which goes back to Mario Brothers and Masters of the Universe and Punisher from the old days. What's the point? Like you're using names to get us in there to watch what you want them to make. So I don't. Heidi saying the character was originally portrayed by Art Carney in the holiday special, eventually evolved into Lando. That's very true. That is very true. I thought you were saying Mara Jade was the character.
That'd be wild. Yeah, like it's just
amazing.
Like, what are the names of Balin, Skull, and what's the girl's name?
Shinhati.
I was like Shakti. I'm like, that's not it. Shinhati is kind of like a Mara Jade to an extent, but she doesn't really get a lot of like character development. But she's sort of like a badass warrior woman. Like that's kind of Mara Jade. So it's like, look, you've kind of created the character. I'm not saying return to that character and make her a Mara Jade, but I'm just like, you have the capacity to create that character. I mean, come after me and tell me I'm wrong. I've read the book that Heir of the Empire twice now. I don't think I'm misremembering how the character is. Obviously, I haven't read every single thing that Mara Jade's in, but like, it's like she's a cool character. It's like, I think Star Wars fans just want. It's so funny. It's like, not to be sexist because like it's not entirely true, and we know this for a fact. Like for a male-driven fan base, it's kind of funny how obsessed we are with like, and this person marries this person, and this person has this baby. Not to say that you can't be like that as a man, but it's just if we're getting gender, it's just kind of funny because it's like we need the hero to marry this person. Like it's like. Yeah, we love it because it's like I think straight out of A New Hope with like the whole I fought with your father in the Clone Wars where you're just like, oh, family, that's cool. I think people like that. They're like, I have a family. I could be Luke. Like, So it's just like, I don't know if we do it. Yes, I love this teal-haired guy named Mark Ruby because like that totally sounds like something that will happen anyways.
Yeah.
Anyway, I say it like every time I say it until there's a trailer. I don't believe anything.
I don't believe this at all. And
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out at some point, but who knows? They're gearing up. I will say though, it looks like they're gearing up for something, and it really feels like the Heir to the Empire is what they're gearing up for. I mean, Ahsoka freaking flat out says Heir to the Empire. So it feels like they're gearing up. Like, well, Filoni is not obviously Andor, but like it feels like that's where they're going. And if they are, then you throw in a Mara Jade, and then maybe you don't use Luke. Maybe you use Ezra. Maybe you use someone like that. Something that already exists, and you just change it in that capacity.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just the Lucas feelings on her. I'd like somebody to re-ask him, be like, "Hey, what do you think of Mara Jade?" And he'd be like, "Who?" That's what I just like. I think honestly though, they would need like a quote from Lucas being like, "My opinions of her were misunderstood," or something like that. Just to like so the fans would. They're still gonna riot anyway.
It doesn't matter
because that's what they do. All right, let's talk about your favorite topic and Ron's favorite topic. The Rey. Ron had a good comment in the chat, but I can't bring it up because it got kicked out, and my chat it just started anew, so I can't go back. But the Rey movie, the Rey Skywalker movie, which may or may not happen still. Daisy Ridley, every time she's in public, somebody will ask her a question and she will give an answer. And sometimes the answer will piss people off, and sometimes they just won't pay attention. So she said one thing that will piss people off about politics and Star Wars, and I don't care about that. Like, that is like, if you don't think, here's the thing. I know what people feel about it, but if you don't think politics are in Star Wars, you haven't watched the prequels, I suppose, because like the Phantom Menace is like 90% in a Senate. So there's that. But what she said though, the one that I want to talk about, she said that she knows the story. This is what got me. Is she says she knows the story, but the reason why they've kind of gone through all these writers and the script, which she has still not seen the script, but the reason why the script's not done is because they're really focusing on the quality of it. So she believes in the story, and they're working on the quality of the script. Now, that could obviously be smoke and mirrors. It could be something. It could be a lie. But I will say that the way this Rey movie has to go is it has to be a top tier Star Wars movie. And if it's not, people are going to riot like Eagles fans after winning the Super Bowl. Like, I think they need, but I also, again, the Star Wars cleansing, right? I think it needs to be really good. So when she said it, I was like, okay, well, she knows the story and they're trying to get it right. And that's fine. I still think it's dumb AF that they brought her out on stage 2 years ago at Celebration.
Yep.
Like they could have done it this year and been just as close to making this movie.
Yeah.
So that aside, though, I still not convinced. I think Ron's more on the right track. That I don't know if this movie is going to happen, but I like that they're focusing on making it the tightest script they can.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's like
we're going to talk about this every week, by the way, until it comes out.
Oh,
so
I know. I absolutely understand. It's just like, I mean, it kind of, as you're talking, I was like, this sounds like Megalopolis, which is not. It's like Megalopolis is like, I worked on this for 40 years, and the casting changed 17 times, and then the movie comes out, and you're like, wow, you should.
Did you see it?
No, I want to.
Oh, yeah, me too. But apparently, then after he was like, I didn't actually work on it for 40 years. I just had the idea 40 years ago. And you're like, well, what the?
Everybody knows that you apparently been trying to get this movie made for a long time. I I mean, no, just disrespect to Contra Club, Megalopolis. From what I hear, it's like when you look at it as like they took a massive swing just to see if it would work, and that's exciting. You're like, well, why don't we try something new, right? And like, think that's what Star Wars is trying to go through. They're like, we gotta do this right. I don't believe anything actors say, actresses, anyone from the theater. Like, I don't believe anything they say because they are just the face that they put in it. And like, I know they work hard on these things. I'm not disrespecting that, but it's just like, that doesn't mean like any of this is real. So like, I'm getting the sense that people are like hounding her and now realizing they're like, wait a second, this movie's probably not happening anymore. And like, no one's going to show their hand yet. They're just, no, it's coming. It's coming. Don't you worry. I don't know.
Yeah, a part of me feels like, I don't know. I'm still not, they keep going through all these writers. And I've been thinking for months now that the director is going. Like, I still think it's going to, by the time it starts, they're gonna have a different director.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And, you know what? I gotta, before we get to our next topic, I gotta say I'm really curious and now excited to see the new Jurassic Park movie because it's Gareth Edwards, right?
Yeah.
And he was hired to do it because he's a quick turnaround guy. He knows how to work special effects and whatnot. And Rogue One's great. And The Creator, is that the one they did? That's the name of the.
Oh yeah, The Creator. Yeah,
really good movie until it lost. I think it lost its way at the end. Like the first like 2/3 are great, and then it just kind of like fell. But so Jurassic Park is coming out, but now he's in the mix to direct Dune 4. Because by the way, they're fast tracking. Yeah, they're going to do it because Villeneuve is out after the third one, which they're shooting this summer, and then he's in the mix to direct Dune 4. And and the reason why I bring this up is I want to know if Jurassic Park is not good or underachieves. Will he be fired like Star Wars directors are fired before they get their shot? That's why I was just.
It's just like, we want you, but you're also gonna make Dune 4. It's just like, well, how many space movies are you gonna make?
All of them, because they are the new Star Wars. Milk nowadays. You don't just make a movie; you milk it. Like Meet the Parents and Cats.
Record me right now. It's like, I don't think Dune's gonna be as successful going forward. Denny did a great job, and Dune. What's it called? I have it here. Messiah will probably be a very good movie. But it's just like that series gets weirder and weirder as you go and long. So it's just like, if you're going to do what he did in the first one, where it's like true to the book to an extent, like it's going to be oppressive. Like Children of Dune, which is Dune 4. Like it's good. But again, it's like, it's a long ass book, and then you get the last 50 pages. You're like, all right, like, I don't know. This Rey movie, I don't feel like it's a thing. Like, I can't even tell you who is set to direct this. Gareth Edwards?
No, Charmaine Obey Chinoy.
Sure. Yeah, I don't believe it. I mean, we'll see after. What's the thing? Star Wars Celebration in Japan. Like, we maybe see something that changes our mind, but I don't know. Like,
wouldn't it be awesome if they were like, Daisy Ridley's here, and we're all like, oh boy, and they're like, and here's the trailer, and we're like,
that is the move. Otherwise, do not have her there. Is she supposed to be there? I can't remember.
I don't think so. And I would say 2 years ago, they brought her out and they're like, Rey's coming back. And everybody was like, yeah. And 2 years and not a peep about anything.
Yeah.
It's like what? I'm like what is like? And the Filoni movie, nothing. Mango movie, nothing. Instead, we're getting a Sean Levy movie and a Mando and Grogu movie that had nothing to do with Celebration, which again is very reminiscent of 5 years ago or whatever it was when Kathleen Kennedy was like, "Oh, we're going to make a droids thing, and we're going to do this and that," and then 2 days later, a Book of Boba Fett trailer drops. I'm like, what just happened? Like it's like this is what annoys me the most. But Ron brought up a good point. Like if Mara Jade comes into play, is Rey kind of like does that kind of make Rey mood at that point?
Rey makes the most sense to be in the next movie that isn't the Mando, right? Like it's if you're gonna go because it's like Mando and Grogu is gonna be a great movie because it's Mando and Grogu. It's gonna be fun. It's if anything, it's gonna be fun. But it's like relies on a whole bunch of other stuff. If we're returning to a Star Wars movie that somehow connects to the other Star Wars movie, where I would argue normal viewers will assume is the connection. Like Rey makes the most sense. She was the main character in the other ones. Why not bring her back? Unless the rule becomes we're going to make trilogy after trilogy after trilogy, new characters every time, new characters. But that's not a rule because there's no rule. So it's like Rey makes the most sense. But I do agree, like, you can't have like this strong woman character that's like, I'll do whatever it takes to get the job done because I believe in the galaxy and I believe in hope, which I like. And if Mara Jade's more of like a Wolverine character, you're like, well, this is much more interesting than Rey and her staff. You know, I don't know. I don't believe in any of these projects right now, honestly. If I'm being completely,
I barely believe in the Ryan Gosling one, and he's been cast. Like,
yes.
Mando and Grogu, man, they better show a trailer at Celebration. And I'm not saying, and here's the thing, I'm not saying we need to see a trailer. I'm saying they need to show a trailer because otherwise, I still don't even know if I believe in that. I know there's footage, and I've seen that footage. Still not confident that that's coming out either. It comes out in a year in like 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. So
yeah.
Gear up for it. All right, you want to go to our next one?
Let's do it.
Sith or that?
Sith or that?
Sith. Oh, I lost my band. It's amazing that that one stayed there, though. So that's good. Let's go. Here, I can bring. That's so random. All right, let's bring them in. We're going to go to our new one. Give me about an hour here. Sith or the 358 logo stayed, though, which was very strange. So that's good news. Hollow News showed up. I don't need that one. I also don't need that one. Oh, good. It's the last one coming. All right, Sith or that, where we have this. It's this or that.
Yes.
It's this or that.
It's a new segment. Sith or that.
Let us know, chat, who you got on the Sith or that. I'm going to give two options, and you're going to say which one you prefer.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with Siths, but we'll change that in the future. Sith or that, would you rather Finn or Poe appear in the Rey movie? Finn or Poe in the Rey movie?
Poe would be my knee-jerk answer because I love Poe, but Finn makes more sense with Rey because it's like we had this like small sub story of like I'm force sensitive and I've been chasing you the last 3 movies and we didn't really get closure on that. So having Finn return and like maybe get a conclusion on that would be ideal.
Maybe he'll finally tell Rey what he needs to tell her for an entire movie. Yep. I'm going to go Finn as well. I thought you were going to go Poe. I'm going Finn. I walked into the Force Awakens thinking Kylo would be the best character, and I walked out thinking it was Finn. And then that was the last time I thought Finn was the best character. So I would love Finn to come back and redeem himself because Boyega's great in the role. He just, he spent an entire movie just yelling Rey. He just yelled, like the entire. He did it for Force Awakens, and J.J. Abrams was like, "That was really good. What if he just did that for 2 hours?" And everyone was like, "Yeah, do it." So I would love to see that too. So we got Ron saying Finn, Heidi saying Finn, and Mara Jade is also saying Finn, and Mara Jade has the inside scoop, obviously. And our next one, would you rather Jar Jar or Dio at Galaxy's Edge? I don't know if you know this, Brock, but Luke Skywalker is making his way to Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, I think we're not allowed to go to Disney anymore. Would you rather Jar Jar or Dio at Galaxy's Edge?
I would love to see what like a Jar Jar in real life costume would look like, because it could be cool. Like it could be really, and it's not. My immediate thought was like walking around the park, but it could be like what do you call them? A Hondo situation where it's just animatronics. But like that Jar Jar, if it's walking around the around Black Spire, somehow you made a decent costume where they're like, I would love to see that. Dio is the easy answer because they already have those droids that roll around, so it's like a Dio, like an actual walking around character. That would be cool. I'm gonna go Jar Jar because I'm like, yeah, like just like an animatronic.
Yeah.
I don't know where that would be awesome.
I'm going Jar Jar all day, every day. If Jar Jar is an option, Jar Jar is the answer for me.
Yeah.
No question here. Ron is also Jar Jar, and everybody else refuses to answer this one. And finally, would you rather the Sith or that? Acolyte Season 2 or Kenobi Season 2? Acolyte Season 2 or Kenobi Season 2?
Oh, that's for me, it's Acolyte, just because I think you said enough. I could think of things that would be interesting for Season 2 of Obi-Wan, but Acolyte, I'm like, there's just more. These characters are interesting, and I want to see more. So,
yeah. See, I was the one fan who was like, I don't need a Kenobi movie before it was a show. I was like, I have enough. I don't really need it. Oh, Trevor Rich is here with Acolyte, and Ron is Kenobi. So yeah, for me, I was like, I don't need this. And then I watched. I was like, definitely didn't need it. But Kenobi did things that I thought were really cool, and I love the Kenobi Anakin stuff.
Yeah,
but I never want to see that again. I'm like if they keep meeting, then who the hell cares when they meet in A New Hope? You're just like, who cares?
Yeah.
And then Acolyte, I didn't like a lot of it. So some of it I was like, oh, they were so close on some of it for me.
Yeah.
And where it ended is, I always say it, I wish that's where it started.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a really tough one for me. I wrote this and I can't think of it. If you could do Acolyte where it's the stranger and whichever twin was with him at the end, kind of focusing on the dark side, and maybe Plagueis kind of rearing his head, guiding them and but deceiving them also, I would be down to see that. Because Kenobi, I just feel like we've got so much Kenobi, and I love Kenobi, but the more you give, the less. I'm gonna go Acolyte. Heidi's also Acolyte.
Yeah, it's just if you're talking about something that would drive more on character, I think it's an Acolyte. I think the Season 2 of Obi-Wan, if it's more about him talking to Qui-Gon and learning how to become one with the Force, that would be interesting. Just a spiritual concept, which I think would be worth it. I don't know if people want to see that. I would see it.
Yeah.
But, so Acolyte just makes more sense.
Yeah, I know. There's just the problem for me with Kenobi the whole time has been what do I need to see from him?
Yeah, exactly. You don't, what's going to happen.
Yeah, I got so much of him in the prequel, so much of him in the original. I know what's up with Kenobi. I don't need. If they were you get more Kenobi, but it's between Clones and Revenge of the Sith or Phantom Menace, that and Attack of the Clones, then I'm okay. I think I'm more on board with that. The Anakin Obi-Wan comic that came out, if they're you get something like that, I might be a little bit more excited for it. But the age he's at now, even though Ewan McGregor's obviously prime for it, I'm just I
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds.
Hold on,
Oh,
I need a
boom.
minute.
Successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Nice. Never tell me the odds. Brought to you, me, and everyone here by patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. If you like what we do, if you like Sith or That, if you like Tell It to Conja Club and other cool stuff we have in this show, we're trying to make it as fresh as possible. Then go over to patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast and support us in any way you can. It would be greatly appreciated. We love you to do it, just like we love the following people: Heidi Feder, executive producer; Barry Brophy; Dennis Allen; Sooner Thrawn; Randy Kenobi; Mary Kristen Aton; Dale Ehrman; Phil Staniforth; Rez, Scott D, Josh Price,
Matt W, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, Cosmic Girl 02, Gleek Play 1, Denim Nerds, Disney Desi, Charlotte Rampresak, and Jeff Wilson. Thanks, guys.
know what I was thinking of as I was reading all those names and like doing the typical patreon.com/dance I do every episode? I was like, we should open an OnlyFans, but it's just us talking and just see what happens. I don't know what happens on OnlyFans, but you might as well put yourself out there.
I believe I read OnlyFans was meant to be like Patreon. And
Yeah,
then they were like,
basically.
you're allowed to do like the dirty stuff.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of became that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like freaking weird. People have too much money to spend on weird things, so
I guess I just want to know if like is there someone where their fetish is us?
Yeah. No, I think there is. I think there's a market for us.
Like it's just like, is it us? Like what are we? I don't know. We should try it out.
I can't.
So join us on OnlyFans/Rebel Scum Podcast.
Ceiling fans. Thank you, Patreon, for all of your support. Today's odds are brought to you by you. Andor Season 2 will have an unresolved plot point. Will there be an unresolved plot point in Andor Season 2? Chat, let us know what your thoughts are also.
That's an interesting one. Well, like, I don't think you can because you're like, this is just going to end with Rogue One. I'm going to go 0% because I think they got a pretty good writing staff, I think, if it's the same as Season 1.
It always seems to be something overlooked on every show, every series.
Yeah.
There's something that goes overlooked. So I'm gonna go 27%. Still low, but there's a chance. Send fig pics.
See? Thank you, Trevor. Thank you.
5% from Ron. Yeah, I'm low, but it's every series. If you think of every series you've ever watched, something has gone on. I mean, I guess you can't really compare the ones that have had 22 episode seasons for 8 years because there's a lot going on there. All right, next up, this is from Heidi, executive producer.
What did Heidi say? Will we ever know? Hopefully. Is it just me? Is it just us? Is it just me? It's just me. He's coming back. There he is.
Heidi says, pending Gina Carano's lawsuit against Disney and Lucasfilm, what are the odds her character of Cara Dune returns to the Star Wars universe?
See, I read this. I'm like, that's still going on. I was like, good God.
I forgot about it too, to be honest.
Yeah. This falls under the Mara Jade thing where I'm just like, maybe we just call it a day on that character. What are the odds?
Yeah.
Anything's possible, I think, in Hollywood, quite honestly. I'm going to go 35%.
I'm going to go 17%. I think when you go to a lawsuit, it's over.
Yeah.
When you go to court, I don't know if there's coming back from that. The thing is, it seems like everybody loved Gina Carano except for Twitter. So
yeah, that's it. She didn't say anything on Twitter. Probably wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah, like everyone's like, "Who's your favorite?" And they all say her. And I don't know. It's a strange one right there.
Howdy.
So that's and our final ad today, also brought to us from Executive Society, and this has to go along with our Mara Jade discussion from earlier. Trevor's going 15% on that one, and Heidi is saying if they're smart, they just hire her back. It might bring back some of their angry fans.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. I
don't know.
I have thoughts. From Heidi, so this has to do with Mara Jade. Again, we're back on this one. Could Zendaya be playing Mara Jade? There is a rumor going around that Zendaya is being eyed for Star Wars because there are 7 people in Hollywood, so you have to get her and Ryan Gosling together at some point. And could that role be for Mara Jade?
I mean, I love Zendaya, so like I'm always like, perfect. But she's already like she's in Dune. It's just like it's just weird. Like I feel like, do you think like they like the people at Lucasfilm watched Dune? You're like, we can't hire any of these people. Like,
I remember years ago, Thor, what's his name? Chris Hemsworth was like, we're not allowed to talk to DC. And now like everybody is like they're just like, screw it. There's 7 actors but it's like now Brolin. DC wants Brolin. I'm like, I get it, but also like there's other people. I don't know. To me, it's just it goes with Pedro Pascal being Reed Richards, which again, I think he's actually going to do a good job. I know people don't, but it's just lazy. Like it's just lazy to me. So I honestly, I think he is going to do a great job, but I also think there's probably like 100 other actors that could be a great Reed Richards, and 90% of those never heard of them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, so I find it lazy. And yeah, I think she's a great actress. She's great in Spider-Man. She's great in Dune. I guess she's a redhead now because of Spider-Man. So that would get her on as Mara Jade then, right?
Yeah, but at that point you'd be like, oh, get the woman that plays Helly on Severance because she has red hair too. Oh,
Severance, by the way, is now Apple TV's most watched show.
I believe it.
It just passed Ted Lasso.
I am like 2 episodes in the new season. I love that show. It's funny. It's like that music and now the new White Lotus music is the big thing this week of like the music that like they changed, right? Because like the second season was like, oh, like all that. Now it's changed. Like people are freaking out because it's like, oh, I waited for that song. It's like, come on, it's not like it's Cheers. It's like we have to sing the theme song. But yeah, anyways, that was a huge side act bar. Zendaya, I love it. I don't think so. I'm gonna go 10%.
And yes, Heidi, Oscar Isaac isn't Dune. That's reversed. This is reversed. He was in Star Wars before Dune.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Again, there's 7 actors in Hollywood. You got
7.
Mara Jade says loves Zed. We say Zed here, but a new character would be good. I agree. I'm gonna go. I don't think she's gonna play Mara Jade. I'm gonna go 12% on Mara Jade. I'm gonna go full Brock on her being in Star Wars. Hollywood loves her. And Star Wars loves apparently grabbing who's Hollywood loves now. Which is what originally annoyed me about the Matt Smith rumor for him being in episode 9.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, he's just like, Hollywood just loved Matt Smith for like that, like couple months there. And that's a very J.J. Abrams thing to do. So, that's where I stand on it. And, she's great. But also, Star Wars... It's just we don't the A-listers. You don't need to get them. You need like an Alec Guinness and then a bunch of like Rugrats. That's what you need. The cast of Rugrats would be great in Star Wars.
Love it. I'm in.
I hate our top 5 today, by the way.
Oh, perfect.
Top 5. So you ready to go to it?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Oh, I almost put the wrong top 5 on.
Boom.
Top 5 villains from Star Wars books.
That's 5 booms.
Boom.
Oh, boom.
Dude, I was at Costco. I was at Costco and like a month ago, and they had the chocolate cookie, which he calls it the wrong name.
Yeah, I love that part.
And it's 850 calories.
Oh yeah.
850. I was like, ooh. I'm like, no. Like he works out, but like you can't eat that. I would die. Like I would probably just like take 2 steps and pass out if I had all that at that point. But I mean, if you get their pizza slice, it's way less. It's also 99% greased, but like boom.
Boom. Fucking those guys are dumb.
You know what though? I'll say this. They're wholesome.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't do anything like you're like there's some things on there I'm like, what the hell? But they're just like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
But at least they're not like hurting people or anything like that. They're just saying boom and eating 850 calories worth of Costco food. And opening every Pokemon card.
Yes.
And now that's all I get on my feed is like kid opening Pokemon cards. Like, what is happening here? Like, oh.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. Top 5. Boom.
Booms.
Oh, my cat just running. She's like, what are you booming? You guys are boomers.
The chicken bake. Which we don't have in Canada. So that whole thing is just like, what?
I don't even know. Now I got to drive to the border to get a chicken bake because they keep telling me how great it is. They buy Canadian bacon, I noticed, though. I've never had Canadian bacon in my life. Is it female bacon? What's Canadian bacon? Oh, I hate bacon. Oh, it's so gross. Female bacon makes me, that's the one with the corn stuff on it makes me sick. It makes me, I just like, oh. I think my sister loves it. It's making me sick. I'm moving on from that.
What's the opposite of boom for those guys? Like
doom. I have that. Aaron has no idea who they are, that they exist, and I'm just waiting for I'm just waiting for the right time to ruin her feed. Just just sprinkle it in.
Yep.
Here you go. She's like, what is it? Boom.
Fantastic.
Because once you see like one, whether you want to or not, it's over. It's it. They're like, and they team up with everybody else online except for us.
What are the odds that the Rizzler will be in the next Star Wars?
Yeah, I would rather the Rizzler than Ryan Gosling.
I know that the world has. We've totally derailed the show. I know that like the world is coming to an end if they like have a Black Panther movie and they cast the Rizzler in it at some point, because they have that little song where he's like, "I'm the Panther dressed in black," because there's a video of him dressed up in a Halloween costume where you're like, this kid's trying to rap, but then he's like, oh right, he's also like 12, so it's like, he's dressed up like the Black Panther because that's what you do when you're a kid. I'm like, fantastic.
Trevor, I like your Henry Cavill one. We're going to do that one next week. We'll do
nice.
I like it. All right, top 5 villains from books. But they can't be in movies or stuff, so you get thrown out of your list. Vader Maul. I'm gonna go with my number 5 is a Yuzon Vong.
Yeah,
Yuzon Vong is my my number 5. Yuzon Vong. Chat, let us know your top 5 favorite villains from the books.
Can we not do Thrawn then on this?
No Thrawn.
Damn. Okay, then I'll put Yuzon Vong in here because I have to fill in some gaps.
Yeah, that's why they're on mine. I'm writing down the Henry Cavill odd for next week so that I don't forget it.
Nice.
I like it. Don't listen to the odd, bro.
Don't.
My number 4, also the Yuzon Vong. My number 4 is going to be the Nihil. The Nihil?
Yeah, Nihil.
Nihil?
I don't know. Actually, that is a good question. I don't know how to pronounce that. I said Nihil. Like annihilation.
Heidi's ruining my number 1.
I'm going to say IG-88. I think it works.
He's in a movie.
Yeah. He's a no. What movie? IG-88. What movies? Oh, right. No. Fine, then Prince Zizor.
I'm gonna go with Vader.
The Rizzler.
I'm gonna go with Asgar Ro.
Nice.
High Republic villain. Asgar Ro. I googled villains that are in books because I don't read. The hell do I know? Mara Jade. Can I do Mara Jade? Mara Jade. That'll be my number 3. I'm gonna go with Asgar Ro. Number 3.
My number 3 is going to be that. Isn't that Luke clone evil?
Luke!
Luke. Oh, fantastic.
I still think the Rizzler and the Vader helmet
The Rizzler.
coming out, and the Rey movie. The villain is the Rizzler. My number 3 is Mara Jade.
Didn't we already do number 3? You did.
No.
Oh, I did number 3. That was my number 3 was. What did I just say? What did I just say?
I can't remember what you said.
Oh, Luke.
Oh, yeah.
Luke Skywalker.
I was laughing too hard. My number 3 is Mara Jade. So my number 2. Did you do 4? Did you skip 4? Okay.
Prince Zizor.
Oh, right. Did I already do? How many have I done?
I don't know.
Let's count.
You're on
I'm gonna
2.
go. If I'm on 2, I'm gonna go with Martian Rowe.
That's a good choice.
I'm a big fan of the High Republic books.
I know. I'm like, you don't know any of these.
No idea. But you mentioned that name before, and I Googled like, what is that person's name? And then the other name popped up too, and I was like, well, I've got you in my list now. Oh, look at this. The chat's better at this than we are.
Yeah, I don't know what to do for my number 2 because my number 1 was Thrawn. Now it's going to be Marshawn Rowe. I'm like, what Star Wars books? Oh man, this really.
That's the problem. Is the villains are who pick someone from the High Republic? The Nihil.
Trying to think of the other villains in that.
I
Oh,
couldn't help
the invisible monster that eats Jedi. Basically, like the smoke monster from Lost.
My number 1 is Prince Shizor.
He's a good character.
Shizor.
Yeah. And my number 1 is Marshawn Rowe, which is hands down like one of the best villains I've seen in a long time, and didn't even see him. He's only in books. Like
that's why he's my number 2.
Yeah. So
Scuttlebutt's asking what they missed. Brock, I just Googled it. It happened. We gotta check the board. KK, you've been
retired. 2025, she retires.
She retired. She's out. She's like, I got my Skeleton Crew was a big hit. Did not hit the Nielsen top 10 once.
If we keep saying she's retired or she is going to retire, and then it happens, will we get the scoop for it? You know what I mean? Like, will people
we got the
Rebel Scum? They've been saying she's retiring for.
I would believe
episodes.
That Variety would quote us in their article.
Oh,
I think they would. I think they would, and I don't think they would have a problem with it. I think they would understand that we're the reason things happen. Episode 358 of the Rebel Scum podcast. I think this episode, Brock, was 5 big booms.
Boom! 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 Boom!
And then I'm like, Trevor, just talking about how the Rizzler is going to be in the new Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway from this episode, is that the Rizzler is taking over the new Star Wars movie. My thing is about to crash out. Anything else you want to say, Brock?
No, I've been watching a lot of things. Spider-Man, the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is done. I highly suggest it. It's fun. Also, I love Severance. That's it. I just love Severance.
People seem to love it. They started a
And-
writer's room for the 3rd season already, so they won't take as much time between the first 2 seasons.
Beautiful. Or you know what? Like, have an ending. Like this is a show that like just have an ending and just let it be what it is. Yeah.
Mine too, Dale. Mine too. I am watching nothing. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Push that like button. We'll see you next week on episode 359. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. Like, subscribe. Brock, you were always scum.
Rizzler Scum.
Scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.